What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Very hot today, indeed. Very, very hot. I just had my shirt off like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, so I have to be decent for you and make a video with my shirt on. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, South Africa, for watching us. We see you, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Ethiopia, Somalia, Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Rwanda. Thank you very much for coming back. Liberia, Sierra Leone, Jamaica, UK, USA. We're the same people. I know many of you come back here every single day to watch me every single day, and I appreciate your contribution. Please drop a comment by the time you finish so we can learn from each other. I mean, this is not about me teaching you things. It's about learning together, and it's much more encouraging when we can learn from you. Sometimes I miss some integral, like some important point. Maybe you saw what I didn't see, so come forward, say something. Today we're going to talk about something very interesting. I know we don't do it very often, but we are talking about Algeria. Algeria, I'm sure many don't know where it is. We're going to put the map right here so you can see where Algeria is. Very interesting country, very, very interesting. Northern Africa. Algeria has done something very, very significant today. They have cancelled completely the French educational program. Certainly you're asking yourself, how can Algeria cancel French educational program? So let's go back to history. In history, they tell us that Algeria was colonized by the French. Like many other African countries, they were not spared, okay? So the French people came to Algeria in the 18th already. In 1830, French people came to Algeria looking to find new land. You just imagine, you come from your hometown, going to another country, saying, for now, this is my country. And when the hosts refuse to accept that, you massacre them. You finish them. Over 500,000 people by the French. These are the stories that nobody narrates, and they expect you to forget about it. Like, okay, you are promoting anti-French sentiment. You are the enemy of France. I mean, come on, man. All these people, are we gonna forget about them just like that? That's the reality of Algeria and many other African countries. Algeria specifically was habitated by French people. They came from France, coming to Algeria, wanting to stay there forever. Okay, and you found two classes of citizens: the French, the whites, and the Algerians. They took over the country, and that was what happened at the time. So after that, they tried to formalize things into colonization. Okay, this is a French colony and stuff like that. But then people didn't like it. We're going to get back to that. So what's happening right now is that Algerians have had enough. Like many other African countries, they say, you know what? We don't want the French curriculum in our schools anymore. Let me put it this way for you. In Africa, countries were colonized by various European countries. So the Europeans were the British, the French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, for most part. Okay, the Italians tried it, but they were not strong. The Italians were beaten by Ethiopians. Oh yeah, they beat them really, really bad. They couldn't take the country. So the countries colonized by the British speak English today, like Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, and so forth. The countries colonized by the French speak French today, like Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Congo, and Niger, and more other countries. Algeria was part of the countries colonized by the French, but the colonization of Algeria was kind of different from many other African countries. In many other African countries, French people came to steal, take wood, take minerals, take things, and send back to the international market and make money. In Algeria, they really, really liked Algeria, so they went to stay. They incorporated Algeria into France, hoping to make it an extension of France, like they've done to other places. So now Algerians say, you know what? We don't want the French language. Number two, we don't want the French program in our schools. Yes, fellas, you're certainly asking yourself, how do you explain that? Yes, most of these African countries use the French curriculum at school. Yeah. And in fact, if you want to get a more progressive program, you need to pay money into specific private schools. So the Algerians said the decision of the Ministry of Education to stop teaching the French educational program in private school is obligatory. Any addition that goes beyond educational plans constitute a violation of the country. So I think they're right. They're just trying to do their own things. Like, if somebody came into your house and beat the crap out of you when you couldn't fight them back, would you let them educate your children? No, I mean, let's be honest, okay? Okay. They say we must forget the past. Somebody came into your country, beat the crap out of you, finished your people, over 1 million people. Would you let them teach your children? What are they gonna learn from them? No, Algeria don't want that no more. They want to take back their educational service. I mean, just thinking about it, Africa's changed a lot. We don't talk about this very much, but don't get offended, okay? We're just discussing as a family, right? You understand? Africans have their own religion. Yeah, Africans did have their own religion, and I'm not pushing you into any direction. No, I'm not pushing you into any direction. What I'm saying is this: are you telling me before they came into Africa, God was not listening to African prayers? Who were they praying to? Were their prayers not be exhausted and accepted and responded to? That's one fact. Number two, a lot of Africans don't even have African names anymore, especially first names. You see Paul, John, Patrick, and all that stuff. Even my name is Zack. Shouldn't be that. Yeah, of course, I've got another second name and all that African name. But hey, there should be something wrong with that. I mean, we've normalized that. It's not normal. I mean, you would never go to a country like Israel and find a person named Matsepiso, or find a person named Mwekassa, or find a person named Nembui, or you don't find that, but you will find in Africa people named Shaddai. What is that? So Africans have lost something somewhere, and I think it's just right. I mean, look at the languages. A lot of Africans don't even speak their home language. It's very sad. With regard to names, props to South Africa that has done a tremendous job into keeping the names. Yes, you rarely find South Africans. Not many South Africans have European names. It's usually Tabisos, whatever name you're gonna. It's usually South African name. Okay, you see Nigerians the same, especially one specific tribe of Nigeria have kept the names, but in other places you see Patricks, you see Johns. I think there's something. If you don't see anything wrong with that, then there's definitely something wrong. And number two, the languages. Many people in Africa don't even speak their own languages anymore. I'm talking about your father's language, your mom's language. You don't even. I mean, these people are professional at correcting your French. They will no, you don't speak like that. They're gonna correct your English, but they know nothing about their own language. That should be your identity. Your own language or your mother's tongue should be who you are. You should be able to talk about your history, your ancestry. You should be able to be proud of who you are. I mean, again, props to a lot of people in some areas of Africa that have kept that. But it's very sad. You can look at many places in Africa. People can't speak their own languages. And they are proud of that. I've personally encountered somebody talking to the child. The child was speaking his African language. And she said, don't speak that sauvage. Sauvage is like savage language. Why are you speaking savage language? What? You telling your own child that speaking his mama's tongue is savage because you live in Europe? Are you okay? That's what we need to look at. I mean, that should bring everybody into understanding and to seeing what this is. So the Algerians say, you know what? We don't want the French program in our schools anymore. We're going to use our own. Thank you very much, fellas. Yeah, you've taught us how to eat hamburgers and sandwiches. It's enough. We don't want any more cheese in our stuff. Keep it in Paris. We're going to do our own things. So this is what it is, fellas. Props to the Algerians. And again, props to the Malians as well, who completely canceled the French language of their politics. I think they are merging back into African languages. It's going to take some time, obviously. It's not going to be immediate because when all the documents are in French, all the modus operandi are in French, it takes some time to gradually change from one space to another. But it's not impossible because Rwanda had done it in the past. Rwanda was a French-speaking country in the 1990s before the genocide. After the genocide, they became English-speaking because the president at the time was somebody that went to school into an English program. And he felt it was more progressive. It was more, worldwide like to be more English-speaking than being French-speaking. And that's the truth. Okay, more people speak English in the world than French. Not to say that you should move from one colonizer to another. That's not the goal. The goal is to recuperate who you are, to find your identity, to go dig deep and go find who you truly are. You should be proud of your names. Okay? It's cool to have your own name. to have your mother's tongue's name. Yes, it is cool. It is very cool to be able to speak fluently your mom and father's tongue. If they're from two different tribes, you should be able to do that with pride. It is cool to do your weddings, your traditional wedding in your own style, not trying to copy Europe. And it's very sad. You see some of these countries in Africa, they just want to look European into their weddings. Yeah, most of them have cancelled even some, traditional wedding. I'm going to explain to you. I know many of you follow us from the US and the Caribbeans. Perhaps you don't understand. So in Africa, in order to marry a woman, your family must go speak to the woman's family. After you find that she's a lovely girl, you feel that you can spend the rest of your life together, you agree. First, you speak to her and she's okay with that. Then the next move is you need to send your uncles to a family. I mean, some people will send a letter first, like a letter to the father, to say your father, if he's alive, send a letter to the lady's father saying, my son saw your daughter and wants your daughter for the rest of his life. Please give us an authorization so we can come officially. Then the woman's father will respond positively. If you're a good guy, then you're going to come with your uncles. Okay, if you have uncles or relatives, they're going to come and talk for you. You can't speak for yourself. It's not like you can't just take a woman and go with her. You can't do that. So they come to the family of the woman. They have a discussion. You have a celebration, but you have steps and things you need to do traditionally. In some places, they're going to say the woman is not here. You need to give money. Okay, your woman is not here. You need to give money for us to go find her. Your woman is not here. That's what it's tradition. You need to dig into your pocket, give the money, so they can go find your woman wherever she is. Obviously, people take advantage, but yeah, that's tradition. You do it. Then later on, they say, okay, you want our daughter. Symbolically, you need to bring cows, for instance. Or if you can't bring cows, there's an amount of money that equates to the value of the cow. If it's 10 cows, my man, you're dead. Anyway, so depending on how valuable this is symbolic. It's supposed to be symbolic, but this is what it is. This is tradition. Unfortunately, many people in some areas of Africa don't want to do tradition because they say it's demonic. Are you okay? Are you okay? So, doing your tradition is demonic, but talking about Moses is not demonic. Who's Moses? Is he alive? Okay, let's stop there. Let's not carry on. I don't want to get into that space. I just want to say to you, you need to know your own language. It's very necessary. That's your identity. That's who you are. You need to speak your own language. Okay? And I'm not talking about city language. I'm talking about your father and your mother's language. You need to go to your father's village. Some Africans have never laid foot on their father's village. Are you okay? That's who you are. You are not your capital. You're not your capital. You are your father's village. Your mother's place. You need to know this place. You must normalize being proud of who you are. Okay? So, let's get back to context. Algeria said enough is enough. France must stop, okay? No more French program, school program, or school curriculum into our program. So we're going to do our Algerian thing with our Algerian children. You beat us for a long time. Thank you very much for that. Now we know what pizza is and cheeseburgers, but we want to do our own thing, okay? And also, there was another instance where President Macron, president of France, made a very cocky comment saying Algeria is a political military system because they were not agreeing on something. So he said, it's a military political system. You know what I mean? French people sometimes. Okay, anyway, let's not attack French people in all. Macron made a very cocky comment and that triggered something. And you will see, usually it's something that triggers something that gets people liberated. Thank you very much, fellas. You very much appreciate it. I know some of you missed me. Did you miss me for the last 2 days? Let me know if you missed me. It's always cool to know that. And please, your contribution is very necessary. Don't go without leaving your comment. We want to read from you. We want to know how you feel about this. Should Africans look back into themselves? How can Africa move forward if what we have is an identity that's not ours? God bless.